What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Elo Bandit, and welcome to all 5 games of Bandit vs. Ayedan for 1v1 Ladder Tour, hosted by Dag on Smogon. So, without any further ado, let's just hop right into it. Battle 1 against Ayedan. I brought my Groundium Z Swords Dancing Excadrill. I've got a Scarf Porygon Z Modest with Hidden Power Fire, and I've got a bulky Tapu Lele. And Aiden's bringing his Genesect, which I assume has both Flamethrower and Flash Cannon. He's got a Magneton, and he's got an Araquanid. Now, the first thing that pops into my head when I look at this matchup is the fact that his Magneton is very scary. It threatens my Porygon Z, and it threatens my Tapu Lele. So it makes sense to me that Excadrill would be the pick on my end to counter that Magneton. However, Ayedan expects this already, and he's thinking more in the direction of picking Araquanid. I didn't expect that. I expected him to pull Genesect, because Genesect looks like it has the upper hand against all 3 of my Pokemon, provided that it's running the relevant super effective move. So if it's got Flamethrower, that should beat my Excadrill, and if it's got Flash Cannon, it'll beat my other 2. So I pulled Porygon with that Hidden Power Fire, hoping to catch this Genesect. However, that was not Aiden's thought process. He assumed that I would go Excadrill, and as such, he pulled Araquanid. So he goes Araquanid, I go Porygon Z, and it turns out that he has just enough special defense to survive the 252 Modest Hyper Beam and KO back with his Z move in return. So that is Game 1 gone to Ayedan. This was the Round 2 lineup, so this is Game 2 out of 5. At this point, Ayedan has won 1, and I have nothing. So I've brought a Dragon Fairy Steel Core team, which is a core that's always very strong. I've got Mimikyu, Dragonite, and Mega Aggron. And Ayedan has elected to bring a regular Hoopa, not Hoopa Unbound, Tapu Bulu, and a Landorus. Now, in this matchup, it looks like Landorus straight up cleans me out. Landorus generally does a great job controlling Mimikyu's speed with Rock Tomb and then KOing it with Earthquake. Does a good job hitting Mega Aggron super effectively with the Z Earthquake. And it also does a good job versus Dragonite because, once again, speed control, followed by very powerful moves. It might be Z Sky Strike or whatever it is. Point being, Landorus has a very positive matchup into this team. If I was the set that he thought that I was. I'm not actually physical Dragonite. It turns out I'm special Dragonite, which means that I do carry Ice Beam specifically for Landorus. And that's pretty much exactly how this matchup went. He thought that he had the advantage with Lando, he picked it, and I went Special Dragonite, took him out with a single Ice Beam. So you can see that he did make an attempt to beat me with speed control, but I was low speed, everything into special attack, just KO in one hit. So that's Game 2, bringing the total score to 1-1. Alrighty, so then for Game 3, Ayedan elects to bring the exact same team. He didn't switch it up. I expected him to change teams, which is why I did as well. But he ended up bringing the same thing. This time he did not pull Landorus. Since I had brought a different team, he figured that the best answer to probably my Rotom, which looks like it beats his Lando and probably his Bulu, and my Entei, which looks like it definitely beats his Bulu, is in fact his regular Hoopa. So he decided to go Hoopa this game. That did not work out against my Mimikyu, because I picked Mimikyu because this Mimikyu actually has White Herb, meaning that speed control attempts from Landorus will fail, and it should beat Tapu Bulu and Hoopa regardless. Ayedan made one mistake in this match. He had a chance, and he threw it away because he Z-moved on turn 1. The only reason that I could think that he would Z-move turn 1 is if he expected me to protect just to scout moves, because that would have effectively broken my disguise on turn 1. But either way, he went that way with it, and I ended up stalling him out successfully for Game 3. So that's 2-1 to Bandit. Okay, so the Game 4 matchup was kind of interesting. I actually went back to the first team that I used. I brought the Excadrill, Porygon, Tapu Lele team again, because I didn't think that he would expect me to do that. He ended up pulling some Jumpluff, Deoxys Speed, and Porygon. And when I looked at this matchup, the very first thing that I thought was, I better go Porygon, because I've got Uproar to get through his Jumpluff sub. But then I started to second guess myself. I thought, oh, well, what if he's got his Timid Porygon that's specifically meant to beat mine. And I thought, oh no, I can't just pull Porygon because I'm going to lose the mirror matchup because I'm modest rather than timid. Plus, I wasn't so sure about the Deoxys matchup since I was lacking Shadow Ball. So I was too afraid to pull Porygon Z, essentially, and since I expected him to pull his own Porygon Z into mine, I decided not to go Tapu Lele since that risked a KO, and I instead went Excadrill. However, Excadrill is completely walled by Jumpluff, so he took advantage of my misstep, and he picked the thing that totally walls regular slow physical attacker. He successfully puts me to sleep, Leech Seeds me, and I don't really have any other choice but to forfeit Game 4. So that was matchup 4. I thought he played that one exceptionally well. Since I usually pull Porygon, I'm a Porygon happy person, and it takes a lot of balls to pull Jumpluff into me, I'll say that. Okay, so then Game 5. This is the very last round. This is where it all comes down to it. Ayedan's bringing Slacking, Gyarados, and Megairna. This is, first of all, a really solid team, okay? He's got the Gyarados Megairna core, which I actually talked about in a previous video. It's just ridiculously strong. It's the two best Pokemon in 1v1, physical and special side. Plus, normal type Slacking just to come in and probably Choice Band or Choice Scarf, anything that those previous two can't beat. Now, I brought a team that is originally built by Osra, or Glix. She put this together. The only serious change that I made was swapping off Infestation on Jumpluff for Hidden Power Ice. I kind of expected Ayedan to bring a Jumpluff again, having just one with it, and HP Ice is Jumpluff's win con in that mirror matchup. So that was the change that I made to this team. I brought it, and I saw that Jumpluff was actually just a very, very strong counter all around to this team. The only thing that would have actually taken me out was a Scarf Slacking, but that is not what Ayedan decided to pull. He ended up going Megairna. So I started off with a substitute just to block his Z move. I don't think that really mattered all that much. I could have just gone straight for Sleep Powder. Either way, I do land the Sleep Powder. I'm not running Wide Lens here. This is, in fact, Gracium Z, since it's Osra's set. I land the Leech Seed. He actually misses the Fleur Cannon. That's very unfortunate. Landing it would have popped my sub and forced me into a sub cycle, which might have eventually whittled my health bar down far enough that I wouldn't have been able to sub, and I might have had to risk one more Sleep Powder attempt. So that miss did kind of suck for Ayedan, but at the end of the day, I think I won the match anyway, provided that I stalled him out and landed one more Sleep Powder. So overall, very, very well played by Ayedan. This was a super intense series, and I really had to think my way through it, especially near the end. Ayedan put up a great fight, and yeah, 5 great games, GGWP, and looking forward to round 4 next week.